Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Electronic Harassment Parent Coalition of Palm Springs, California. My name is Kevin Bond. I'm the owner of this site, along with a few of my friends, and today's postings are all about forensic epidemiology. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically the tracing of a disease back to its origin. And what we're really proud of right now on my team, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but is my team has apparently developed a profile, genetic profile of the person that is responsible for spreading HIV virus at the same time that these people are being implanted with RFID chips, which is a major step forward. It's something that we know happens all the time with these victims, and it's something that if you hear Lisa talk about it, it's something she's very, very knowledgeable about. I know that when we're arrested by the police department, a lot of times she's giving them information about our HIV health that most people wouldn't get. And who would know better than the person or persons that might be responsible for our infections? Now, personally, one thing that we need to deal with is knowing that in this profile, it would appear that the donor is a female. And that's an easy check of the genetics. And if you look at what I did today in terms of the postings, you'll see how that works out. We can tell that the original donor to several people that were not HIV positive, that became HIV positive, are people that were infected by a female. Female to female, female to male. And that's an interesting way of looking at this. So the other thing that we want to be certain of is that the female and the male and a couple other people do not remember having sex with a female. Okay, so this is an intentional infection. It had to have been done intentionally. Accidentally, it could have happened, yes, but when you couple that with the RFID chipping and then the subsequent electronic harassment, you know that this is an intentional thing that happens, and we want to be clear that it is probably the most significant advancement that we have so far. I also wanted to point out that there is still some bloody clothing at the police department that I believe they got test results back on once, showing that there were several profiles that were available, and then later on something hinky happened. I don't know if it's cover up or whatever, or somebody was given the wrong report. It looks like there's just one person that was the donor. Now, you know that Lisa can wreak havoc inside of that police department when she's using the City of Palm Springs emails. So God only knows if she got her hands on this kind of stuff. But I do remember when I was living in Hesperia, after doing the informant work with Christopher, that there was one particular night where she must have been watching what the police people were thinking, because she freaked out knowing that they had found DNA on these genes. And my team has all of that conversation recorded. Also, I wanted to be clear that when I go into the police department, or when I do anything really, I'm wearing a live wire. You can't see it, it's not taped to my chest, it's the actual RFID chips. I have team members that monitor my conversations regardless of whether or not the other person talking to me knows it. So I have the whole entire conversation with Lieutenant Reyes at the Palm Springs Police Department when he took me down and showed me the evidence, showed me the report, and then told me that, you know, we're going to get these guys, and I was right on the money. So there's no doubt about that conversation. It's in several different places because I'm monitored by my team that keeps an eye out for me. So Christopher also wears a live wire, and any conversations that he's had with police officers or with other people about this have all been recorded with our permission. So it's really kind of an interesting way of doing this, and it was one of the most unique ways of handling this crime. Also, I just wanted to let everybody know that my live cam is fixed at home, and I'm doing fine. As you can see, I feel good and look good. But we're really excited about this genetic profile because we can also use it to match crime scenes. Where a person lived with this profile, who this person is, all of this stuff can be matched up without a doubt to a person who up until now claims no responsibility for what goes on, But if her blood is ending up inside of our bodies, then we've got a really good case. And that's something that we've been looking forward to for a very long time. So I really want to help the benefactors for our team, the people that finance what we do. I really wanted to say thank you to the labs that have done the work and the scientists that have done the work. And I really wanted to say thank you again to my team for being so patient and knowing that, you know, you're going through what I'm going through doesn't make it easier. I know I get to do a lot of fun stuff that you don't get to do, and I'm sorry for that. But I have to be without Christopher for a long time too. So it's a double-edged sword for all of us. But we'd all like to see this terrorist taken to task and sit in front of a judge and a jury so that we can present the evidence that we know to be true. And I want everybody to know that, you know, we've heard your prayers. Our prayers have been answered, and we're really excited about the new opportunity to be able to have a profile that we can match to somebody that we're fairly certain is the person. But we want to make sure that we give the presumption of innocence until proven guilty, and you know, seek a peaceful ending to a very violent and tragic situation. And for forensic epidemiologists out there, this is something that I talked about a long time ago that could happen, and I'm really happy that our benefactors looked into it for us. I'm sure it's not an inexpensive procedure, and at some point I would love to be able to take your lab and use your lab as an example of what people can do when they're concerned citizens about finding out epidemiology and using DNA as a way to trace how this can happen. And I'd like to give your lab as much praise and as much you know, honor as we possibly can, possibly even use it in the movie and definitely use it in the book. So it's, you know, hats off to you guys for doing this work. The sooner we can get stuff like this to the Centers for Disease Control, the more we can get federal help for this investigation. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. I love you, Christopher, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.